more days till Halloween, Halloween, Halloween. 3 more days till Halloween. I'm not going to finish that, okay? That's an 80s horror movie, and this is a list of 70s horror movies. But Halloween 3 is a great movie, so very, very good movie. But anyway, we're talking about 70s horror movies here, so welcome back, everybody, to 31 70s horror movies for Halloween, where I'm counting down my favorite horror movies from the 1970s. We're in the number 3 spot now, and it's interesting because at number 3 I have John Carpenter's Halloween.
Okay, Linda. Come on out.
Now, for years, and you people know this if you've been on this channel and my old channel, Halloween was my favorite horror movie for the longest time. But it has dropped down a few places for me. I'm not going to get into details why in this movie. I did a horror talk where I talked about slasher movies, and I went into detail as to why Halloween has dropped down a little for me in that video. So, if you want context, just go check out that one. But just because Halloween has dropped a little for me, it doesn't mean that I still don't love it. Halloween was the horror movie that made me into a horror fan. I was getting into the genre, I liked the genre, but then when I saw Halloween, that's what made me into a horror fan. That's what made me love the genre, so I'm always going to have a soft spot for the original Halloween.
Michael?
Halloween is the movie that started the slasher boom. It came out in 1978, and we have to acknowledge the fact there were slasher movies and proto-slasher movies that came out before Halloween. The reason Halloween was so successful was because of all these movies that came before it and created these building blocks that led to the slasher genre. But Halloween is still a fantastic horror movie. Unlike most slasher movies, it's less about the kills and it's more about the suspense. Michael Myers is a great horror villain, and for me, he's the scariest of the big three. You know, you got Freddy, Jason, and Michael Myers, and the reason he's the scariest for me is because he's not so much a person, he's a force. Michael Myers, at least in the first Halloween, is treated as a force of nature. There's nothing behind him. He's not feeling any emotion. Freddy Krueger loves killing people. You know, he has this gallows humor. You can tell he's having fun. Same thing with, like, Chucky. You can tell Chucky enjoys killing people. Jason is the angry killer. You can tell there's rage behind him. When he's killing people, you can tell that he's pissed off. But Michael has no emotion. And for me, that makes him scarier.
I met this 6-year-old child with this blank, pale, emotionless face and the blackest eyes, the devil's eyes.
Okay, in the sequels, they made him, you know, oh, he's Laurie Strode's brother, and that's why he's going after her. And in the sequels, they try to give him motivation as to why he's killing. But the best version of Michael Myers is in the first movie. He has no motivation. He has no reason for why he kills people. He breaks out of his sanitarium. He's just going to do this. He's just going to start murdering people. He's just an unstoppable force that kills people. And that's creepy. That's creepy. Just this soulless shell that is going to go around killing people just because. It's scary. That's a scary idea.
Hello? Hello?
But of course, even though this movie is more about suspense and atmosphere than it is about the kills, you still have some good kills in this movie. I mean, there's not much blood in Halloween, but the kills still leave an impact. And again, I think that's because they make the characters quirky and likable. If you like characters, you're going to be sad when you see them go.
My Paul, I give you
This is another one of those horror movies that has creepy shit happening in the background. What causes the suspense in Halloween is randomly seeing Michael Myers standing in the background. That's always a great way to add suspense in your horror movies, even during slower scenes. You know, just put something scary in the background, and don't bring any attention to it. I mean, make it obvious, but don't bring attention to it, so that way, when the audience notices it, they say, oh shit, look what's going on in the background. And that can make your non-horror scenes scary because there's shit going on in the background.
Yeah, but I've seen you stuck in plenty of other positions.
My parents are gone.
Oh, that's fabulous. When did they leave?
About a half hour ago.
Oh.
Everybody talks about the music in Halloween, and yes, Halloween has one of the best scores in any horror movie, and it's simplicity. That's what Halloween is all about. Simplicity. I've always said that when it comes to making your horror movie scary, simple is better. You look at Halloween. Michael Myers is a guy who killed as a child, and then he's been in an asylum, and then when he's 21, he breaks out on Halloween and goes back to his hometown to kill again. Such a simple premise. You look at Michael's design, this plain white mask and these mechanic overalls. That's it. Simplicity can sometimes make for the scariest movies. I do love Dr. Loomis. I mean, even he does get crazier throughout the series, but I do enjoy him in the first Halloween. I mean, yeah, he's there, he's exposition guy. He's there to say, Michael is evil, and give you all these details as to why Michael is evil. But you kind of need that, because Michael Myers doesn't speak. So, that's what Loomis is there for. He's there to help create the air of Michael Myers. And the two go together so well that it makes... Loomis is necessary to help make Michael Myers scary.
I spent 8 years trying to reach him, and then another 7 trying to keep him locked up because I realized that what was living behind that boy's eyes was purely and simply evil.
Now, I hear a lot of people saying that Halloween would be much better if there were no sequels. I do kind of agree with that, but I love the Halloween franchise. Not as much as I used to. It's mostly 1, 2, and 3 that I love. You know, Halloween 3, of course, has nothing to do with Michael Myers, and Halloween 3 should have been the second movie, because that way they, you know, everyone would know, oh, this is an anthology series. The Halloween series would be regarded as one of the greatest franchises ever if it were an anthology series. It's still regarded as one of the greatest horror franchises, but I think it would have gone up another notch if it were just kept as an anthology series. As much as I love Halloween 2, if Halloween 2 didn't exist and they went right into Season of the Witch, that would have given us one of the greatest anthology series in horror, I think. But regardless what you think of the sequels, the original Halloween is a classic horror movie. It has one of the best endings in all of horror, and there's a reason why it has stood the test of time. So I'm not even going to tell you to watch Halloween this Halloween season, because you're already going to. I mean, what else is there to say?